Good morning, ma'am.
All right. So who all have over here? Asif, Shaintika, Shavani, Shri, Vaishnavi, Vaibhav, Abhishek, Chandrani, Shayan, Saurav. All right. Wonderful. All right. Just one quick question. Do you all have Power BI installed on your systems?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Everybody has it. Wonderful. Okay. So let's get started. Any one of you who is already working with any of the BI tools? Anyone who's working with the BI tool?
No.
No.
Nobody is. Okay. So today's aim of this particular workshop is to create a dashboard. It is going to be this dashboard that you see over here, where we would want to analyze our different things like sales by category, by segment, by subcategory, by trend of the sales, which is the highest, which is product giving me highest sale, product which is selling in the most quantity, and overall what's the sales and the profit figure. And what I want to do is I want to analyze it based on the various countries that I'm selecting. So if I select any country, I would want all this to change. Okay, so first, before we dive in, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Ishani. I'm one of the directors of Ivy, and I'm the trainer at Ivy for advanced Excel, automation of Excel through VBA, and for the BI tools like Power BI and Tableau. So welcome all to this small masterclass. Aim is to get you familiar with Power BI so that you can start creating small dashboards for yourself. So this is not going to be a very detailed one in which, because if you think about Power BI, it is not only for visualization, but we use it for, data cleaning, data transformation, we have to do modeling, and then we come to this final product. So for the purpose of this particular masterclass, I have taken a simplistic data set, which is already clean and ready to be used. So I'm going to send this across to you all. Because I would really want everyone to do while you're learning, because I think that is the best way of learning things. If we don't do a hands-on on it, we might just not be able to enjoy what we're learning these days. So I am going to give you the link for this data. It's in the chat window. Please confirm if you've received it. Got it?
Yes.
All right. So I would request everyone to open the file first. Now, why I want you to open the file? See, when we start working with the BI tools like Power BI, what is the main purpose of such tools? Power BI or Tableau or ClickView, ClickSense, all these tools that you can think about, they are typically used to visualize the data. So we create a lot of dashboards. Now, the purpose of dashboard is very simple, that we get some raw data with us and we want to get some business insights out of that data set and then present it to the business saying, okay, this is what I found from the historical data. These are the recommended action plan that we can take based on what the finding is. But before you even get into the insight generation of the data, I think the most important part, especially as a consultant where you're working with multiple industries and multiple type of companies, is to understand the data well. If I don't understand the data, I cannot play around with the data. So that's the reason I was asking you, let's just open the file once and see what the data is all about. So if I look at the data over here, you will see the data has been divided into three parts, three sheets. One is orders, one is returns, and one is people. Now, ideal situation, depending on the business objective that we get, we might use one of it, or we might have to use all of them. right? Again, this is like a beginner's workshop with the assumption that you've not worked on Power BI at all. So I've taken a very, very simplistic example. And over here, we are going to work only with one sheet, that's orders. So if I look at this sheet, what are the columns? So when I say understand the data, I really don't mean go inside each and every cell and look at the data. That is going to be a tough job. But understanding the data would be something like look at the headers, understand the headers, what they mean, get a clarity, understand the data well. So if I look over here, I've got something called a row ID, which is nothing but just think about as a serial number. Then I've got an order ID, on which date the order was placed, on which date the order was shipped, what is the ship mode. So I have about, if I look at it over here, I have about 4 ship modes with me. First class, same day, second class, standard class. Then I have got the customer IDs, customer's name, segment. Again, within segment, I've got 3 segments: consumer, corporate, and home offices. Then which city, state, country the customer belongs, which region, what's the product ID that a person has bought, which category it falls under. So there is segment, inside segment there is category, that is furniture, office supplies, and technology. And within that, there are a lot of subcategories. Then we have the name of the product, what was the sales value, quantity, discount, and profit. Anything which is not clear? Any header which you feel is not clear?
Clear so far.
All good? Okay. Now, if you pay attention to column B, you will see that there's a lot of data which is repeating. Column B, column C, column E, a lot of data is repeating. So pretty much this entire part is common and is repeated. Now, why it is getting repeated? For example, if I go and order something online, I'm sure you guys have already figured out this like an e-commerce data set that has been picked up. So if I go to Amazon, and from Amazon, I'm placing my order and I buy 3-4 products, right? So even though the 3-4 products might be shipped at a different date, but it is associated to my customer ID. So that's why my customer information is going to be constant. It is going to fall under the same order ID. So that's why the entire repetition is there, because if you're buying more than one product, so the product information has to come. What is the product ID, which category, which subcategory it falls, what's the sales, discount, and profit. Hence, from B to L, the entire information is getting repeated itself. Right? So if you look at the dashboard now you might be able to make sense of it. Like I said, what we are trying to do, we are trying to analyze in each country how is the category, which segment is performing better, how has been the sales trend, which subcategories are performing better, which is the highest sales product with the highest sales, highest quantity, and what's the overall sales and profit that I have. Yes? Now you're able to read it better? Okay, so how do we go about getting this data set, like starting with this view? So first of all, Power BI is not a tool that stores the data. What it does, it connects to a data set, pulls the data from there, and then I can play around with the data in the Power BI. So what we would want to do is go to your Power BI, open the Power BI desktop that you have. Everybody is on the screen. Shantika, Sayak, Shirvani, Mriganka, yes, Kalpana, all right, Chandrani, If anybody has joined right now and you need the data set, I'll just post the data set once again. Make sure you're doing hands-on in this masterclass, because then only, you will really enjoy working on it. So once we are over here, this is the first and foremost screen of Power BI. Now in the middle, your view and my view might look different because I'm signed in, and it might say that, for the collaboration, do a sign in. It's not really a requirement. It is used when you want to publish your reports and when you want to send your reports and share reports with others. For now, let's skip this part in the middle. On the left, what you see is get data, any recent sources that you have selected, or your PBI files. PBIX files are the Power BI files that you want to use. So I am going to go to get data, and in get data, what kind of file did I send you? What's the data type of the file?
Excel.
It's Excel, right? I hope you guys have downloaded. Everybody knows how to download the file. It's an Excel file. So Power BI is not limited to only Excel or a CSV file, which is mostly used, but you can also have connections with the JSON file. You can have connections with the SQL servers. You can have connections with Cloud, Azure. You can have connections with some of the, online, you want to pull the data from some of the websites, which has the data sets in it. All this is possible in Power BI. So this is the first place where it shows, okay, what kind of connection are we trying to make? So once I know, okay, what kind of connection is there, in our case, Excel, we select and we click on connect. As soon as you click on connect, it will ask you for the data. And I'm going to go ahead and select the data over here. I'm going to wait for you. Let me know if you have reached this part. Dviti, Aruna, you all have the data sets?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Rachit, Rudra, Narayan.
Yes, ma'am. I can't open the screen actually.
You're not able to open the
Screen actually, it's getting full screen and I can't access the Power BI.
can't access the Power BI. Oh, you mean you are in Zoom, you're not able to go out?
Yeah.
Press Alt Tab. Alt Tab should open all the windows that you have, and you should be able to work on it then. Alt Tab. Can you see your window?
Got it.
Got it. All right.
Ma'am,
Samrat.
actually, I can't download this, whatever you were sharing. I can't download it. I just open and view it. There is no download option is showing, ma'am.
So when you are opening it, sort of, it would have opened in Google Sheet.
Yes, ma'am. Google Sheet. Yes, right.
So once you have a Google Sheet, on the top left where you see the file, go to File.
Yes.
And over here you will see Download, and download as an Excel file.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
Yeah. Everybody else is able to access the file, connect the file. Okay. Rudra, Narayan and Saurabh, what's your status?
Ma'am, I've just downloaded it, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
It's opening on Power BI.
Okay, it's Power BI is opening. So while it's opening and downloading, if you could look at my screen once. So once you are on the screen, right? Now you see this is an Excel file. An Excel file has multiple sheets. So all the sheets would show up over here. Now in my Excel file, the one that I've sent you also, the sheets are named as order, people and returns. Hence it is coming up so nicely. Otherwise, if you don't name it, it would come as sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Right? So I am going to work on which data set? I'll work on orders. So I can select orders. What it does on the right side, it gives me a preview of what the data looks like. So it's showing row number, order date, order ID, and so on and so forth. And we are going to click on load and keep it ready then. Let me know when you have put it on load, and as soon as you load the data, what you're going to look for is on the right side where you have this fields. A table of orders should be there, and the arrow sign, once you click on it, you should be able to see all the fields of orders table.
Done, ma'am.
Done.
Got it.
All right. Done, 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 done. Wonderful. Now, once we've connected to our data set, now we can start building this kind of a dashboard. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to export this also once as a PDF and then again send it across to you guys, so that you have a copy in your hand that, okay, this is what my ultimate goal is, and I am going to achieve this, right? And it's not very difficult. All these tools that have been coming up nowadays have been created in such a way that anyone should be able to work with it. So these are called no-code softwares. No-code softwares where the coding or the programming is not there. So that's why it's called a no-code software. And they have a very easy interface, very easy to understand interface. It's not at all a difficult interface to understand. So even though it looks very fancy, you must be thinking, oh, a lot of hard work is going in it. Obviously, hard work is there when people create a very interesting dashboard. So very full of insight. This dashboard, like I said, it's a basic one. The reason is we wanted to just introduce this Power BI to see, okay, do you understand what's a Power BI? How does it work? How easy or tough it is to create a dashboard in it, right? So how do we create this thing? First of all, if you notice what I have done, I have a certain color behind my dashboard. Do you all notice this? Right? There's a gray color, but the canvas you have is white. So there are two things that you can do. Either you can apply a theme or you can color the background. You can go to the view part. Under view on the left side, you will see certain themes are there. So you can pick one of the themes based on the color combination you're looking for. For me, I have picked the storm, and then I went ahead and went to this area. This is a visualization pane. So there are two important things, three important panes on the right side on which you will be working. One is field, where you get understanding of your table and the fields. Then there is visualization, which helps you to apply a particular chart in your dashboard. And this is the formatting of that particular element. And there are filters. We are going to use all these three panels today, right? So first thing I want to do is, if I want to change the color of my background, I can select into the white area. In the visualization, go to the formatting. And what I have done, I went to the canvas background, went to the color and gave this color of 50% darkness. Transparency is 100%, hence I cannot see anything. As soon as I pull it down to 0%, then you will be able to see the color on the screen. Is this part clear? How do you add colors to your canvas? Or if I picked a theme which has a background color, I could have done that also. In those cases, I don't really need my background color. Got it? Let me know if it's done. Easiest thing would be to pick how to decide the transparency value. It depends. So Weber, when I'm working with like a solid color, I've already picked a color with a certain, darkness or lightness in the color. So over there, I keep the transparency as a 0, right? Now, if you notice that when we are working in the background, it's just not the color I can put. I can also fit an image over here. You must have seen dashboards with images in it. Now, when you put an image in the background, you cannot have it so strong that my dashboard loses its charm, right? In such cases, when I'm playing around with the image, then I would keep the transparency as high so that it is, people are able to look at it, but it's not so, out there that my dashboard, my charts are kind of going in the background. You understand what I'm saying? So for a plain color, I'll keep it as 0, but if it's an image, I will adjust the transparency on the higher side. All right, once this is done, now what are the elements that we will be working on? They are total of 1, 2, 3, 4 major charts. Charts in the sense, all of these are elements, but these are called charts. This is a tree map. Which chart is this? Which type of chart is this? What is it called? It's called a bar chart. Exactly. So I've got a tree map, I've got a bar chart, I've got a bar chart once again, and this chart is called what? This is called a line chart. Absolutely correct, Kalpana. It's a line chart, Aruna, yes, previous to a bar chart. And these 4 are called cards. Okay. So I have 4 charts, 4 cards, 1 title, and 1 on this side. This is called a slicer. What is a slicer? Slicer is basically a filter, interactive filter, where when you're clicking on it, it kind of filters all the elements of your dashboard. So if you see, if I pick up, so for example, China. So furniture is highest, followed by technology. This has been, it seems like it's going up. Consumer is highest, copiers chase, bookcases are the highest sale. These are the 2 of the higher sales and higher quantity product. How we decide charts or cards would depend on that is not something that I can, tell you in 2 minutes also. So let me try. So once I get the data, right, and once you have a business problem, so it's not that if I get, let's say 1 lakh, 2 lakh rows of data and 10 sheets I get, I need to utilize all the data. It doesn't happen that way. It would completely depend on what my business problem is, right? For a very simple example, type of business problems that I could have had on this data. If my managers would have asked me, okay, is there any subcategory that we need to scrap off, right? I want to understand which subcategory can I get rid of, which is not going to give me any profit, which is not giving me profit or, good sales, and what subcategories I should add on. That is one kind of problem. So my whole concentration is going to be subcategory wise, regional analysis, country analysis. Is it like in a country something is not working, or is it in a region something is not working, or is it something that I need to scrap off from everywhere, right? Second could be, for example, I already have certain countries where I'm doing operations. Now you need to figure out where I need to shut down or open up more operations. Like where should I have more presence now? Right? In that case, my slicer would not be of the country. I would put it inside a chart and analyze it. So it would totally depend on what my business problem is. Then we say, okay, this is my business problem. What are the main fields that I want to evaluate? And based on that, only we decide how many charts and how many cards we would want. But cards are supposed to be something which is, the key things that anyone may be looking at. But if you look at the card, it's like one single value, one single number, and we are able to get a good understanding of our data, right? Because there's no analysis, just one number, you get an answer, that's it. Indrani, is it Indra, is it clear? Aruna, sorry. Aruna, is it clear? So it depends from problem to problem. It's not necessary. Exactly. It depends on the business problem. I have dashboards where I have like 3 elements, and that suffices the need of it. I'll just show you one. It depends, it's not necessary we have to crowd it with a lot of things. What I want to show, if it's visible in that, why not? So for example, let's say Spotify, cost of living, no, let's say retail store. Let's take this example. This is a very, you will see only, I think, 1 or 2 graphs on it. It talks about inflation, right? While this is opening up, Indian startups. Wanted to show you one more. Okay, let's look at the COVID one also. So it would vary. You will see the layout varies. You will see that, a lot of things are going to vary. For example, this is the inflation dashboard that was created. So this is just one thing where I wanted to see that year-wise, what has been the difference in inflation. Nothing else. One slicer and one chart, because that's what I wanted to analyze. Year-wise, what's the difference in the inflation point, right? Then if I wanted to do a state-wise comparison, again, you will see only one line, only one visualization is there. Sorry, I don't know what happened to my. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
But my screen went kind of blank over here. Okay, Power BI uses a lot of. 1 second, yeah. Need to close a lot of things. It takes up a lot of space. So I'm thinking I'm running out of space. That's why it behaved like this. Stop save. All right, back again. Power BI still doesn't want to work. Let me close one file. Oh, my Power BI doesn't want to work. Thank God we made that PDF because I did not save that Power BI file at all. See if I can get it back. All right. Okay, give me 1 second. I don't know why, but it refuses to open up now. Let me see if I can recover that file. Good, otherwise we'll make it from scratch. No worries. As it is, we didn't start on too many things. Okay, so my work is gone, but that's fine. Like I said, luckily we have already made a on the desktop, I had kept how I want the output to be. So we will try and work with this image now. All right. So let's do this thing. Let's start off with the first thing, that is I want to put a title on my dashboard. Now, why titles are important? Anyone? Why do you think titles are important on the dashboard? Titles are important or not important?
It helps to identify the file.
It helps the user to understand what they're going to look at. Imagine you get a newspaper without any headlines on top of it. It's like paragraph after paragraph or images after images. Would you be able to understand where to start, where to end, what you're looking at? Probably not, right? So it helps the user to understand what he or she is going to look at. So I need a title. Now, where do we get the title from? We are going to go to insert. Over here, we have a text box. Once you click on it, it creates a placeholder over here. You can resize it. Like I'm going to resize it over here. You can move it if you want a little bit, right? The movement is there. Then you decide what is going to be the font style and what is going to be the font. You want it bold, like I made it bold. And then I want to type in. I had written executive dashboard. Come on. It's not working today. Okay, I think my hold on 1 second. Sorry about this, guys. It's just, I think too many things are sitting on my system. And that is kind of giving me a problem today. That's one thing you will have to understand. Keep your systems clean. Like you can't have too many things over here. That causes a lot of problems. Okay, let me clean up. Hopefully space has been made. All right, let me see if now it wants to work. It doesn't want to work today. Once more, I'll insert. So see, it depends on the theme that you've picked. Let's say, for example, if I go and pick a theme which is white, right? Then my canvas is white. And then when you're typing in, oh, it's being typed on the top. I was not looking at it. Okay. So when you type it in over here, it's going to show up. Okay. So I'm going to go over here and type in, this is my executive dashboard of Superstore. And then we can play around with the size and the placement of it. All right. Everybody clear about this, the title part? Next, I'm going to work on the cards. Now, once you've got and if you want to change, so, this is a white in color, if you want to change the colors, anything to do with the formatting of the elements that you're putting, you will go to this part of format. The format window pops up. We will go to effect where the background is. Right now, the background color is white. And if I want to give a particular color to it, I can do it from here. So in effects is where you're going to give it. Is it clear? Webber, if you want to change the color, you can change the color. It's not necessary you have to be stuck with what's the theme default color. Now let's work with the cards. Now, where are the cards? All the visualization elements that you put on your dashboard are put under visualization. So field is where your table is, where your fields are kept, which you pull and create your visualization, and what type of chart you want to create comes from the second panel, which is visualization. So you see over here, there's a card, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth column, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth row, fifth column, fourth row card is there. So what I like to do is I like to create one card, make sure the formatting is right. And when the formatting is done, then I kind of copy paste and create another card. That really helps you to save time in terms of your formatting. So cards are supposed to be the big numbers, single numbers. So you don't have to give a lot of space to it. So I'm going to give this much space and I need to put them over here. So I'll put it over here. Now, what does a card do? Card gives only one single value inside it. Is it always mandate to transform the data from the source into the Power Query before loading into the dashboard? So Shaikh, that would depend if your data requires some kind of preparation, right? So ideal cases that we get raw data, we have to transform meaning creation of new columns, cleaning of the data, missing value treatment, errors. If I want to get rid of some rows and columns, filtering process, all that is in transformation. So transformation part takes care in Power Query. Once my data is ready and transformed, the second part is data models, if I have more than one table. And once that is done, then I move into visualization. So what you're doing right now is pretty much the last step of the dashboard, not the first few steps. First few steps, I thought, it's going to be a little too much overwhelming right now. So we start with something which is a little easier to understand in this given time. All right, Sai. So if your data is clean, somebody has cleaned and given you the data, yes, you can load it directly over here. However, if it's not, then definitely we need to work in the Power Query. So once this card is ready, I'm going to go to the orders. Now what I dropped over here is the sales. What you will do as soon as you come over here, you check mark in front of it, it will drop the sales in this card. Now what it does by default, if you go over here and click in the visualization, it has done sum of sales, right? So when you drop a numerical field like sales or profit, by default it's the sum. If you want to change it, you can change it from here, right? And then I went to the formatting part where I kind of decreased the font size to 30 so that I want to create card, but I don't want them to be very big cards. So I'm going to place it over here, let's say. And again, if you want to change the colors and all those things, you can use this effect. You can have colors and you can change the color palette from here. All right. Simple. Once you have formatted one particular card, then I would say once you've done it, you're ready with one card, then copy paste it. Because there's no point making 2 times doing the formatting. So I made one, I copy pasted because this is what I want. And in the new card, I'm going to get rid of the sales and put my profit. So I don't have to work on the formatting, the size, and so on and so forth. Did not understand how to put the value in the card. To put the value in the card, for example, over here, right? Let's delete it, copy and paste. So this is my card. There's no value over here. So in the visualization, it is asking for a field. So each visual have a different type of inputs it requires. A card can only work with one field. Hence, you see only one field area is given over here. So all you need to is click on it over here and it automatically drops in the selected visual. So select the visual and then click on profit. Got it? Asif, what about you able to do it? Chandrani, Dviti, Shayan, Pratmesh, Rachit, Vijay. All right. So cards are done. 2 cards are done. 2 more left. We'll deal with that. I'll create one card and the working remains the same. So you can create the card otherwise. Now, what I wanted to do, another point that I got in the card was this one. Product with the highest sale, product with the highest quantity. Now, do you think this is a numerical field which I dropped in the card? Do you think it's a numerical field I would have dropped? What would I drop in this card? Which field would I drop in this card? So see what value is over here. What am I dropping in this card? I'm dropping product name. Product name is numerical or text?
text.
It is text, right? So if it is text, so obviously it cannot do any kind of summarizations like this. So what does it do? Let's create a card.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
please.
I have some problem actually. How you get that profit? I just copy it and select profit, but this profit is not coming here. It's only showing the sales.
And did you remove the field of sales from here? So
Fields,
when you copy paste, it's going to copy exactly the same thing, right?
yes.
And then in the field, it is still saying sales, correct?
Add data fields here.
Do you see this visualization panel in under fields? What do you see?
Under fields, it's saying drill through, cross report.
No, under field. What is the field over here? Where I have profit, what does it say?
Actually, here, this not drop down is working
There is no
in
drop down
field
over here.
section. When I click on field, so nothing is showing.
There is no drop down over here. You copy pasted. You copy pasted, right?
Yes.
Sorry. So what do you see over here under field? What do you see? Like I have profit. Do you see sales?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you need to
Yes.
cross it off because that is what is showing in your card. Correct? So you need to cross it off because you don't need sales over here. And just like what did you do when you want to make a sales card? What did you do? You went and selected profit, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Get
So
it,
do the
ma'am.
same process.
Okay.
Same process. Okay. Now over here, I'm going to drop my product name. Now, since I dropped the product name, what it can do, if you look at the field, it's a text. So it can either show you the first name, it can either show you the last name, or it can do like a distinct count on it. Distinct count means count the unique values, or it can do a count for you because that's the only thing you can do on a text data. But I don't want to do any of this. I want to get the name of the product which has the highest sales. So this is the time where this filter panel will also come into picture for us. So once you click on the filter panel over here, what we are going to do. So watch my step first, understand what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, and then you replicate, okay? So once I'm in the filter, I'm going to drop the product. You see there is filter on this visual. So this part is where you want to work with. So I'm going to drop the product name in add data fields here. Once I leave it over here, you will see basic filtering coming up. So what I'll do over here, when I click on the drop down, I get three options. I can do advanced filtering, I can do basic filtering, I can do top N. Top N means top one, top two kind of a thing. So I'm going to pick top N and I'll say I want the one item, one single item, what I want. Now it is asking you want a product name based on which value. Like I'll give you the top product, but based on which value. So which value are we looking at? Based on which field am I looking at the top product? Look at my visual again. Based on sales. Very good, Sayak. So based on sales. One is based on sales. Second one is based on quantity. Right. So one is based on sales and one is based on quantity. So how do we work? In by value, you will bring the sales and drop it over here and apply filter. As soon as you do that, it is going to give you the name of the product which has the highest sales. And this is too big. The name is coming out too big. So anytime you want to do formatting, we will have to go back to the visualization and in the call out value, this is called a call out value. We're going to reduce this to 30, still too big, 20. Now it's coming up perfectly fine. Is it clear? Any questions?
Ma'am, I just have one question here.
Yes,
So
please.
instead of selecting one, if you have selected two, so in that case, would it return top two product item with high sales?
No, because the card can only return one single value.
So if I want to top two highest values, then what should I need to do?
Then we have to create a table.
Okay.
Okay, we will create a table and then use filter and say top 5, top 2, whatever we want.
Okay.
All right. So once again, what all I did over here. First of all, you will create a card, right? Created a card. I'm going to do from very beginning card. So this card requires, again, what this card can show is one single value, nothing more than that. Now, what is the, like I've already shown you what the output is. What I'm looking over here is the product name. So I'll drop the product name. Now what it does, it gives me the first, last, or the count. So instead of doing the first, last, or the count, I want it based on which product has a maximum sales or which product has a maximum quantity sold, right? So for this purpose, we are going to use filter. We will drop product name in the filter again and say that I want to do a top N filtering. So in top N, I want the first one to be there. Based on what I've already done for sales, this time I'll do for quantity. So I drop the quantity and I say apply filters. Once I do that, what am I looking at? I'm looking at the product which has the highest quantity sold. Now is it clear? Try to create one of the cards. Let's not aim at both the cards because that will take time and then I would really like to cover more. So I would request you to quickly create one of the cards. That's it. And if you want to change what is coming at the bottom, right now it's coming as first product name. So to change that, we will go in visualization under fields. If you see, you get something for rename for this visual. So I can rename for this visual and say product with highest sales. Okay, I'm not changing the second one. It's getting black only after putting product name to filter. Blank. Wherever I will have to see your screen to see what you've done. Could you please share your screen once?
Okay, ma'am. Let me know once it's visible.
Yes. So,
Yeah, so here-
now this is blank, right? No, not here. First, what you need to drop is in the visualization. First, you have to drop in a visualization the field. So you see under your visualization panel, let me have the request, remote request. Yes, this area first you need to drop the product name. So this area, see, look at my what I'm doing. Let me work on it. Okay. So this product name I have to drop here. Got it?
Okay.
First, you have to say in card what you want to see.
Okay.
Correct. So what I want
Yeah.
to see over here is the product name. So you need to drop it in the field. Now you see product name is coming.
Yes.
Second step is that we want to filter it. So then we are saying I want top end this based on what? Let's say based on sales. So I can drop the sales over here and apply filter.
Okay. Okay. So quantity, sorry, sales we have to put in by value, not here. Add data fields here.
And did no in by value. So what is, if you read it, it says top one product name by sales. That's what we wanted. So because I can't do a top one on text, right? So top one or top two of any text data is dependent on a number data.
Yeah.
So top one based on sales or top one based on profit, or so whatever you want to do it by, that will be by value.
Okay. Got it, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Done for one.
Yes, ma'am, done.
Vaishnavi, what about you? Shashri, Shivani, Samrat, Rudranarayan, Rachit, Dviti, Kalpana. Asif done, Pratmesh done, Chandrani done, Kalpana done. Wonderful. So far, so good, right? Easy, not difficult. How can you please show once again how to change the font of the text in the card? Sure. How to change the font of the text in the card? So, for example, if I pick this card, what it is showing is the name that pops up over here in the field. It says first product name. So if I want to change it, I'll click on the drop down. I get something called rename for the visual. So I'll click on the rename for the visual, and then I can type in like product with highest quantity. Got it? See, for anyone who's using Power BI and you're doing this master class, so please understand that right now, instead of taking baby step, I made you jump to a particular place in work, right? So it might not look very simple, but from the point of view of the interactivity of the software, that's how you judge your software, okay? Right now, your knowledge level is not that you should be creating a dashboard directly, but this whole masterclass is to make you understand that how easy is this Power BI. All you're doing is clicking, dropping, that's it, right? Are you doing any coding? No. Are you writing any complex formulas right now? No. So basic of Power BI is very simple and very user friendly. Right, Rudra and I, would you agree? So I understand it cannot look very simple to you, like, oh, it's very simple. This is the first time you're looking at a software which has too many features to offer. So obviously you cannot remember, you cannot understand where to go, when to go. It comes with practice also. Okay, now based on the time that I have, I need to start working with the charts. So let me do one thing. I'll only focus on bar chart and a line chart, because others are, others you can create very easily. So let's say if I want to create a bar chart or a line chart, any type of chart, right? So what you need to do is click anywhere in the white area, go to the visualization, and this is where all the chart types are. So if I want to create a bar chart, this is where the clustered bar chart is. Once you click on it, right? Place it where you want it. Let's say I want to put the subcategories over here, and then drop the field. Just like how you drop the fields in cards, you will drop the field in the bar chart. So which fields should I drop? Let's say if I wanted to see the segment subcategory wise sales. So what should I drop here in subcategory wise sales? Which field should I work with? Subcategory wise sales.
Subcategory field.
Subcategory field and sales field.
Sales field.
Right. So I'll tick on subcategory, I'll tick on sales, and there you go. Your chart is ready. Simple. You should just know which fields you want to work with. If I want to create on, let's say, a tree map, if I have to convert this into tree map, I just have to go and click on the visual of the tree map, and it gets created. Simple. So it not only makes one chart, but if I wanted to explore, okay, this is not looking nice, let me do this. Okay, this is not looking nice, let me try a tree map, or let me try a pie chart. It kind of helps you to able to see which would be the best suited one, and then you can pick and choose. Right? Everybody made this bar chart?
Yes.
Now let's come to the line chart. Line charts are a little tricky. So if I say I want to see the sales trend, right? I have got, if you remember the data set, I had an order date, the dates on which the orders were placed. So if I wanted to understand the trend of the sales, like how is it going up? Is it going down? What is the trend of the sales? So anytime you're analyzing something based on trend, line charts are the best suited ones. So line chart is this first column, second row, and the line chart has come. Now in this line chart, what do I drop? What should I drop? Trend of sales. What should I drop? Which fields should I drop? Sales and date. Isn't it? Date. I want to see in January how many orders were there, Feb how many orders were there. So trend of sales is date and sales. So I'll drop sales and I'll drop order date. Now you see, since this is a date data type, what Power BI does, it kind of converts it into different parts of the date. So it's not just a date it can work with, it can drop, you can drop years and only look at year-wise sales. You can have quarters, you can have months, you can have days, you can have many things over here because it's able to segregate or aggregate it on that level. So when I drop order date as it is giving me a straight line. Right? Why a straight line is coming up? Why the straight line is coming up? Because all it did was whatever was a total of 2011, 12, and it drew a straight line. And then 2012 to 13, straight line, 2013 to 14, straight line. So it's just like plotting 4 dots for each year and drawing a line in between. But do you think this is how our sales would look like? Like, would it come up as a straight line? Probably not, right? So if I want to drill down in various levels, what are the various levels? Again, look over here in visualization. I've got year, quarter, month, day. So these are the various levels. So if I drill down using the symbol, now what it has done, it has given me year-wise, quarter-wise sales report. If I drill down another level, this is year-wise, month-wise sales report. And if I drill down another level, this is year-wise, day-wise sales report. So obviously this is very bad. So I'm going to go up one level, go up one level, go up one level. So I can go up or down in the levels over here. So the one that I'm showing on my dashboard was year-wise and month-wise sales report. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, everyone done? Let me know once you're done with the line chart. Kalpana, Riganka, Samrat, Saurav, Vijay. Yes, all right. Now the last part was the
Yeah.
interact
Ma'am,
filter.
one
Yes.
query.
Yes.
Whenever you are changing from year to month or quarter, can you please repeat this step? Actually, I don't understand which one is to select first. That 2 arrow or the up, down, upside and downside arrow first?
So this is your original one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This arrow, which is the prong one, right? This helps you to drill one level at a time. This one, the fork looking one.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you click here, it takes you one level down. And when you want to come up, just one drill up.
And then, ma'am, this 2 arrow simultaneously downwards.
Again, it's for that purpose. So now see what it is showing is it is doing only quarter wise. It is not considering your year into consideration. You see, this is just quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So it's considering all the years combined. What are the quarters? Typically, we will never analyze our data in such manners. We'll not combine the data of multiple years and analyze the trend. So when you do this, this is just going in the next level without considering the previous level. One is working as a hierarchy. In hierarchy, you are considering previous level and one is just going to the next level. So if I am on month, now it is only giving me Jan to December without consideration of any year. And this is going to give me 1 to 30. So day of the week. Got it?
Considering any year or any month.
No,
Just
yes. Just the going to the next level, not hierarchy, not considering the hierarchy in it.
Got
Okay. All right, last bit is our slicer. Slices are what? They are interactive filters for the dashboard. Now, there are a variety of dashboards that we create. There are certain dashboards in which we want interaction. And the reason we want to put the filters, all the slices over here is because we want to drill in the data and get some insight out of the data. Because if I put one solo chart, I might get just one simple thing like chairs are doing good or the bookcases are doing good. But if I put a country slicer and I'm able to drill down on this particular chart based on the country, I will get different insights for the, let's say, the top 5 countries that I work with. Okay, so what is the purpose of a slicer or a filter is to be able to drill down into your dashboard and get insights. So like I said, there are 2 types of dashboards. In one which we want to allow the user to drill and find the insight. And the second one is the one where we are just telling a story, something that you send to a senior management or the business owners who are not going to drill, who are not going to analyze for you. You have to analyze and give them the story or the insight. So slicer would come when you are drilling and finding insights. So I'm going to create a slicer. It is the second column over here. This is slicer. Click on it. This area gets created. I'm going to just make it a little taller because there are a lot of countries. And once this is there, so which slicer I have country-based slicer. So all I have to do is drop the country in the slicer and we are done. So the slices are there. Now you can evaluate if it's working or not. So for example, in India, huge dip over here. This whatever happened, Q1, Feb 2014 was very, very bad. We recovered. But still, again, we have a huge dip over here. The peak came in 4th November 2014, but huge dip over here again. What is selling? Phone cases and bookcases are selling. What's not selling? Binders and envelopes not selling for us. If I go to China, there haven't been such a big dip in 2014, which we saw in India. But over here, copier in chairs doing well, pages, papers and envelopes not doing well. And if I go to Australia, then I get a different understanding. You got it? I would take my word back saying papers and binders are not doing well. It's just the sales is low. And it makes sense, right? For example, if I sell a chair would cost me, let's say, 3,000 rupees versus a paper is not going to give me that kind of sales value, right? So obviously the sales of an envelope would never be able to compete with the sales of a chair. So it might not be a very good idea to compare a chair with the envelope and saying envelopes are not doing well. You understand my point?
Yes, ma'am.
So kind of think about those things also. Don't jump to conclusion based on one single chart over here. You need to go in the depth of the data and understand the data very well. Any questions? So to interact, yes, Power BI, everything is automatically interactive. In fact, everything is interacting with everything else. So for example, if I click on chairs, right? Now I'm getting total profit, total sales of chairs. This has been the sales trend of chairs. If I click on tables, now I'm getting in tables, which is the quantity which is sold the highest, which is the product in tables, which is giving me higher sales. The trend, total sales, profit, we are making negative profit. And this is for Australia. If I go to India, tables went up, profit is not negative, but in Australia, it's not doing well. Even though sales is there, I'm not getting any profits. So all these interactions are inbuilt. All of them interact with each other. Similarly, in India, if I wanted to click on, let's say 2014, or let's say we wanted to see what's going on over here. So if I click on this point, so it's giving me this was a sale, this is a profit, this was what was sold the most. And in subcategory, it may have become very small, hence it's almost invisible. If I click here, now you see it's showing how much was the sales for each category. So appliances did well, phones did well, storages did, okay, chairs and copiers did well, and this is the value. So each and every in visual interacts with each other in Power BI. That's the beauty of it. It's a very good feature. All right. So that's it from now. I'm open for questions. Any questions you have, I'll be more than happy to help you on this. No questions? I hope you enjoyed the session. Don't feel overwhelmed by the software. These softwares, do you help prepare for certification course? Yes, definitely. All our courses are built so that you can apply for the certification programs.
Ma'am, I just have a question, like not related to Power BI though. Like if I want to get into data analytics, what part of statistics do I need to master?
See, there's no one specific part that I would be able to tell you. And I'm not into statistics, to be honest. But what I've understood is things like basic hypothesis testing, your what do you call, little bit of what do you say that the models that are there, the linear, logistic, decision tree, whatever is the statistics that goes into it. I would say I'm not the best person to answer this question, how much and how much of statistics. See, my role in analytics is into BI consulting. Okay, so BI does not require so much of statistics as a predictive model or a data scientist would require. So if you want, I can ask whoever is your point of contact, you can ask them to give you specific list of topics for statistics that will be covered at Ivy, which are important for becoming a data scientist.
Right. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. But more than understanding the theory, what you have to focus on, like say if I know a simple example, I know what is a mean, median, and mode. Correct.
Right.
Now, when do I calculate mean versus median versus mode? That is more important than learning what is mean, median, and mode. So even in statistics, it's a lot of theory, but you have to focus on the application of every theory that you learn.
Right.
Right? Because otherwise, in tool, it doesn't make sense. What do you think, which is better, Tableau of Power BI? Tableau is my first love. Very honest answer. I find it very intuitive. And being an Excel user who moved into Tableau, I found it very easy to pick up. But both are there. Both have their pros and cons. Apart from my personal preference, if I look at the industry is more inclined towards Power BI right now. So all the trainings that I'm doing, all the corporates that I'm looking at, and they're preparing the guys for the next upcoming projects, it's mostly Power BI. More than 90% of the teams I see is working with Power BI. Okay. Any other questions for me? From which format cards can we format the cards based on the value? As in give colors to them based on value of it? Are you talking about that, Pratmesh?
Hello, can you hear me,
Yes.
ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Yes. I'm talking in sense of, if I have to show a rag, like for certain value, it should reflect a red color for a certain value. Or let's say if if in a chart the text comes as red, then it should the chart the card background should get red. If it goes to amber, then it should goes to amber or orange color. Or if it's a
I
green.
don't think so. Between two visuals, it would be able to do it, but you can try that when you talk about callout value, no, not callout value in general, where we have the effects. So one thing is I can put a simple color, and second is you can change the properties using conditions. So you click on effects, and over here, there are some of the things that you can do. You can put some rules, you can put some gradient values based on which it will change the color. You might want to explore this FX area.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this masterclass and you should be able to have a confidence to make the basic dashboard now. And if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to me and connect with me on LinkedIn. So once again, I'll just quickly give you my LinkedIn. Definitely, you can reach out to me if you have any questions. If you want any kind of career guidance, I would love to connect with you guys and help you out with that. All right. Take care then. Thank you so much. You have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
మీరు అంత పెట్టుకురాను అంటే బాగా కారణం అవుతుందా అండి